Hey, what's going on? Jake here with Uncommon EDC, and this is the BROG EDC Pouch. Now, BROG is an acronym for the company that makes them, Blue Ridge Overland Gear, and you may be familiar with that if you saw my video a few weeks back on their collaboration with Carry Commission. That was their bum bag. Really cool hip bag or sling bag, depending on how you want to use it. If you haven't seen that, definitely check it out. But I mentioned in that video that this pouch would be available for pre-order, and so it ended up shipping. They said it would be shipped out by April 13th. It shipped a few days early, which was a nice surprise, and got here the day it was supposed to ship out, so that was cool. Now, really budget-friendly pouch at $38.99, considering the materials used and the quality on here, and made in America, lifetime warranty. I think that's a pretty good deal. Now, I ordered the bundle, which was $56.97, and that came with the pouch. It came with the leather patch that you see here with their logo on it. Really nice little patch. It's not a standard rain dry size, it's a little bit bigger, around 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches. And it also came with 2 internal organizations, which is one of the really cool things about this pouch is how modular it is. That's also one of the downsides, which we'll talk about when we get to the inside. But really good size pouch here at 5.5 by 5.5 inches. And so nice kind of square shape to it. You can use it vertically or horizontally, turn it whichever orientation makes the most sense for you. And opens full clamshell. They say it's about 2 inches thick, but like all pouches, that's going to depend on what you load it out with. So this one's a little bit thicker than 2 inches, but it does still have some room to expand. That back pocket's kind of pushing the limits a little bit, but the main compartment definitely has some room to expand if I needed it to. Now the material is a 1000D Cordura, so pretty forgiving, really durable material. It's gonna flex and move with you a little bit, but also somewhat rigid, so not too much. On the front, most of it is cannibalized by this Velcro panel, so that's 4 inches tall by 5.5 inches wide, and I actually like that. Nice amount of patch real estate. However, I wouldn't have minded seeing a smaller strip and more of this laser cut Molle. So instead of regular like nylon webbing or whatever they usually use, they decided to laser cut their Molle attachment points, and so there's 1 on each side and top and bottom, so 2 total on the top, 2 on the bottom. And I do think it would be a little bit more useful if we had a second laser cut section here, so you can attach smaller items as is. You can put a long strap through there, you can put a pen in there, whatever you want, but it's not as useful as if there were 2 stacked, about 1 inch apart from each other. And so wouldn't have minded seeing a little bit less patch real estate in this case, so that we had more usable Molle attachment points. But not the biggest gripe. I don't actually use Molle attachment points that much, so not the biggest gripe in the world, but do think that would have been nice. Now, only one colorway available from the pre-order, which is this Ranger Green with the orange. Some people will really like that, not for everyone. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up doing more colorways like they did with the bum bag. So if this really isn't your colorway, might be worth waiting it out. I don't no affiliation with them, so I'm not sure that that's the case, but if I had to guess, I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. One other thing I should probably mention is that the pre-order did sell out, and so I don't know if they're gonna fulfill the pre-orders and then see if they have extra stock and put those up on the website, or you'll have to wait for the second run. One of the nice things about them is that they do tend to try and keep stuff in stock. They're not a company that's doing a bunch of limited stuff, and so there should be expected second run. If you're interested in it, just sign up for the notifications. I would imagine it's not going to be that long of a wait. But so with that out of the way, let's look at the kind of features on the outside, and then we'll dive into the inside. So along the kind of spine here, you see this Milspec 1-inch webbing that you can use to attach carabiners or attach different things. You can also stuff stuff underneath there. If you wanted to put like some rolled paracord, something like that under there, you definitely could. I have a Hero clip on there. I'm probably going to switch this out for a regular carabiner, because when I first saw this, I really envisioned it as a tool pouch, and so they say EDC pouch, but obviously it can do either. Smaller tools, but still kind of a nice tool pouch. And I was thinking maybe I would attach these to the back of my headrest, so I'll probably put 2 on here and then attach them to the little poles where you can raise up your headrest. Not 100% sure yet, but we'll see how that goes. Now, YKK Zippers all the way around, they come with these zipper pulls which have this like plastic finger groove. I don't love the look of them, although they do work pretty well, I may end up replacing them. They do have a nice reflective high-vis thread threaded into there, and I decided to attach a Glow Rhino tritium little glass breaker keychain onto it. These, if you're not familiar with tritium, is a radioactive material that glows without taking a charge, so it doesn't need to be exposed to light first. It will just glow continuously for something like 25 years. So really cool. It does not come on there. I decided to attach that myself. The patches, for those curious, I already mentioned Blue Ridge Overland Gear. Right next to that, we have the End Times patch from Phytonics. And he mentioned that he didn't really intend for them to be this small, but when he got them, he kind of liked them, decided to sell them. And I really like how small they are. And the reason is just for layouts like this where you have a random gap in the Velcro, you want something smaller. This is not 1 by 1 and neither is this. This is probably like 0.75 inches by 0.75 and this one's 1.5 by 1.5. But it kind of, with the rest of the patches there, leaves you with an awkward gap that was easy to fill with such a small patch. So I really like that. Next to that, I have the High-Tex Kraken. Below that, the Staxology, the glow-in-the-dark lettering on the camo background. Uncommon EDC name tag. This was from an Etsy order that I had done to put on my stocking for my Christmas video, but you can order those from Etsy. And then this one's from Maniac EDC, the anchor patch. And so I'll link to everything that I can down in the description below. I always try and link to everything that's readily available. If it's not readily available, something like this, which I think is probably sold out at this point, I usually link to the general store, so you can find other kind of similar products. But that's everything I have on the front. Let's flip over to the back. So no patch real estate back here, just kind of a nice plain backing. No attachment points either. Wouldn't have minded seeing some more of that, those laser cut Molle attachment points back here, but not a big deal either. But there is one zippered pocket that goes the entire width, that 5.5 inches, and is probably 5 inches or so up from the bottom. I don't have a lot in there. You'll see, maybe you'll even see, is the notebook that I have in there is kind of pressing right on that zipper. So sometimes it does catch on there on the corner. And so think I probably should go with a smaller notebook here, but just throw it right in the rain in here. Let's get that out of there. And yeah, just standard right in the rain. I don't know the measurements on this one. It looks like 4.5 inches or so tall, maybe. I don't know. But it has tear out pages. You can see there's some pages missing from here. Tear out pages lined. I'll link to it, of course. But right in the rain's good. I didn't interact with someone in the comments. I forget who, I apologize. But they were mentioning that they really never have use for writing in the rain. And that's true for me also. I have a bunch of write in the rain notebooks, but like this is never really gonna leave my car. I'm just gonna write in the car where it's not raining. I can roll my windows up. And so could just go with a regular notebook there, but decided to use the write in the rain. You can see that high-vis interior on this pocket in particular. That material does end up getting blocked off on the main pocket, but really nice there for kind of when you need that high visibility. This pocket does have that. Same zipper, and these zipper pulls, I don't remember if I mentioned, are YKK zippers, so you can put whatever type of pull you want on here, switch it out for some paracord and a bead if you prefer, which is what the route I might go, but really reliable and good zippers there. Now, on that attachment point, I have that hero clip. Like I said, I'll probably end up replacing that with just a regular carabiner, but nice place to attach stuff, or again, stuff underneath. And there's a little bit of room under there, not a huge amount, but if it has a clip or something, you can definitely clip something in there, like a flashlight, a thicker flashlight, something like that. But let's get into this main pocket. It does open full clamshell, and you can lay this out however you want, so I'm kind of doing it in this orientation, but if you prefer to switch it, you definitely can. And so right in the middle, I just have a shop rag. This is the What Is Up Guys, this is from NAFS, that I had picked up at one point, but just a nice shop rag to separate the gear, keep it from rattling and banging up and scratching each other, and fits in there well. As you can see in that quarter fold, is just about the right size, so really like how that fit in there. Now, I'm definitely missing some stuff in this kit. I'm definitely gonna have to tweak it. I feel like especially stuff like duct tape and zip ties in particular, since I kind of wanted to put together a kit to live in my car, but kind of a quick throw together. I'm making this video the same day the pouch itself arrived, which isn't that common, but did want to get this out there since it is a new product. Let's start on the left side and then go to the right. I'll pull out the Velcro inserts that were both part of the bundle so you can see those after and see what it looks like without that. But starting on the left-hand side, we have a little titanium adjustable wrench from CountyComm. This one I threw on a torch, so it's a little bit off color. I think it looks pretty cool. This is a 4-inch one, not gonna be really super heavy duty, but if you need something to just clamp onto on the smaller side, it definitely works. It is made out of titanium, so cool little wrench. They make these in a bunch of different sizes, up to I think a 12-inch wrench, so that's obviously going to be much more usable, but not small enough to fit in a pouch on the back of my headrest. Right behind that, I have a pair of Knipex pliers. This is, again, probably the 4 or 5-inch model, and really small one. Again, same kind of limitations. It's not going to be great for huge jobs, but for just holding on to something small, it's going to do the job. These are really reliable, which is why so many people have them. A little bit on the pricey side. I'm sure you can find something similar for a little bit cheaper. Not sure, obviously, reliability there, but I do have a multi-tool as well. But the thing about multi-tools is it only gets you one pair of pliers, and a lot of times you need something to hold on to the backside. Not a lot of times, but sometimes you need something to hold on to the backside, to hold on to that nut or bolt, and you don't have it if you're only carrying a multi-tool. So just carrying these small ones gives you something to hold on to the backside. So I like that, and was able to fit both of those in there. Now moving up here, we have a Zippo. Just kind of went with a standard black. This is their matte finish. It's got kind of a rough coating material, and so thought this one would hold up well. Now, Zippos aren't really the greatest for this kit. This probably needs to be replaced, honestly. I just don't know with what yet. If I want something with fire, though, these only really last about a week. I am testing out some new kind of products to extend the life of that Zippo fluid, but either way, you don't want to have to remember to take it out of your car once a week, and maybe even more if it's warmer weather. I'm not sure if that affects how quickly it evaporates, but probably not the greatest for this type of kit, but it is what I put in there for now, and this kit's going to definitely change over time. Now right behind that, I have a small Prybar. I think I want to go with something a little bit longer and flat, but for now I have just a Rogan USA. Forget the name of this one. This was one of their St. Patty's Day versions, but he sells this one all of the time without any graphics on there. Nice kind of edge there, and have the bottle opener, of course, because no multi-tool is complete without a bottle opener. Has a spot for a lanyard hole. Like I said, probably going to replace this one, but it was kind of a nice starter one. I do think it would be helpful to have something a little bit bigger in here, a little bit more robust, and something that fits in your pocket normally. Now next to that, I have the Soul-Built Marksmith, something to write in that Write in the Rain, and this is a permanent marker with a bolt action pocket clip. Really cool. I've done a video on this as well. May eventually replace this also with something that is a little bit less fancy, I guess. This one's a little bit on the pricier side. Would hate to lose it if someone saw this as an appetizing kind of thing to steal in my car, and so may replace this with something a little bit more disposable or just a little bit cheaper. I like that it has that metal body though. It's a really nice one and fits in there really well. Now last on this side is just a small bit driver. There's some screwdrivers in the multi-tool, but did want to include a small bit driver. This is the NAF's bit driver. I don't think there was a special name. There definitely was, actually. It was after some shuttle. Just don't remember which one. I have a video on this as well. I'll put it in the description, the name of it. But just a nice, cool small bit driver with a bearing on the head, so it's fidgety and also assists in actually using it. You can press that head right into the palm of your hand and spin it, keep pressure on it without your screw dropping off or anything like that. So nice little bit driver. This one actually may end up staying, although I may replace it also with something with a little bit more substantial of a driver set, because this one only holds 3 bits. So we'll see. But that's everything on this side. And so you can see this, sorry for the noise, this is the elastic organizer that it comes with. Now this one's a little bit different than what we saw in the bum bag, what we see on the other side. I don't know if this one's for sale yet. I would imagine at some point it will be, but it's really cool because besides the Velcro backing, you have these larger sections behind the smaller loop sections of elastic, and so you can put, you saw a lot of them actually were double layered. I had the Prybar and then the Zippo in front of it, or the Knipex with the CountyComm one in front of it, and so really nice for double layering. And then that last one has some more kind of pen size slots, which is cool. I guess I can just measure all these. So overall this is about 5.5 inches, and that little elastic sections a little bit over 1.5 inches. Same thing here, a little bit over 1.5 inches. Not quite 1 3/4 on all three of them. And so that's going to be the same for these front ones, which are 1 inch wide rather than 2 inches wide. And then these front ones are a little bit on the smaller side. That one looks under 1 inch, but over 3/4, so somewhere in between there. And same thing here. Looks like it's about 1 inch where it's sewn in, but it's not all usable real estate. So both of those are going to be about 0.75 inches, just slightly higher than that. So as you can see, without that, the back of this is just a giant empty space. And so if you want to use this as just kind of a pouch that you dump the stuff in, that's great. But if you want some organization, that's where you really had to get that bundle. The $39 pouch itself really didn't offer any sort of organization whatsoever. And so let's empty the other side, and then I'll kind of talk about that a little bit more, some other options. But starting on the bottom again, we have the Leatherman Rebar, one of my favorite Leathermans. Has a nice tool set, not gonna go over it here. Not spring loaded, but nice kind of black colorway to that, which I really like about it, but just in general, one that I've really enjoyed over the years. And so, like the Rebar a lot, it's a good middle size. It's pretty slim closed down compared to a lot of the models actually. And so, it's a full size multi-tool, but also pretty slim and fits into some small spaces. Definitely could have gotten bigger here. But this is one where it's kind of middle price zone. If it ends up getting stolen, I wouldn't feel so bad replacing it. It's not cheap, but definitely not the most expensive and a good size. So next to that, I just have this little grabber. I don't know what for. Just you can pick up small things in small spaces where your fingers don't fit, and it fit in there in that extra space. So just shove that in there. Don't think this has any particular brand. This is an Amazon special, so I'll link to one of them. I'll try and find the exact one, but it's no different than any other brand. So if you know where to find them, just get whichever one has the best rating and best price. Next to that, Benchmade Mini Adamas. Really love this knife. Mini is only compared to the regular size Adamas, really larger knife overall, and nice pocket clip on there. This has actually been my kind of nightstand knife for a really long time, since I got it basically, but recently replaced that, and so have been putting this one more into the rotation a little bit. But really great knife and pretty lightweight for its large size, so really like that one. Again, might end up switching a lot of this out. We'll see how it goes, but really have to kind of just test it, see what you use, and switch it out as you go. But nice kind of first start to this kit. Right next to that, I have the Streamlight Wedge, and this is a really cool flashlight. I think there's only 2 modes if I remember correctly, or I just need to reread the instruction, but really bright light on here, and you got the kind of side switch. It goes into that low mode and then jumps right into high mode when you push it up, but when you let go, it automatically defaults back to that low mode, and so kind of goes into battery saving, but when you need it to be bright, it will be bright. And really nice kind of switch on here, unique shape to it, and it's not going to roll away on you. Like this light, I need to do a video on it at some point. I've had this light for a long time, and similarly, it also ends up a lot on my nightstand for whatever reason, and so cool light. I'll do a video on that at some point, but I guess assuming it's still for sale. But this is the panel that's similar to the one that we got in the bum bag. Well, actually I bought that separately, and you can see this one's a little bit longer. It's 6 inches, and this section is 5.5 inches, and so you do kind of have to roll it up on the edges. It does roll up just fine. You see it's just fine there, but it is a little bit longer than our other one, and just 1/2 inch or so, and also a different configuration. So you have 2 kind of narrower elastic loops and 1 wider one, and nothing in the front, so it's only single layered, unlike the other one. So all of these are 2 inches tall by about, this one's 2 1/4, this one is 1 1/2, and this one's just a hair under 2, so about 1 3/4. And so different configuration. It makes it nice for just carrying different types of items. I'm glad they actually went with 2 different organizers. Now, if you don't want either of their organizers, you can just buy that $38.99 base pouch and then get one from another company. So I didn't pull all of them out. I have some from other companies, and then I have some that I'm probably gonna pick up from other companies at some point. Haven't yet, but ones to look at, and I would always just look in the accessory section of their website. You might be able to find them on Amazon as well, but if you go into the accessory section, a lot of times you'll be able to find these organizers. Some that I know have a lot. Viperade, I know, has a ton of them on their website. 511, who I have probably 2 or 3 of theirs, maybe even a little bit more, they have a decent selection. It tends to, I don't know, go away, and they put in different versions of it. But if you check their website every few months, you'll end up getting different versions of them and eventually getting a nice little collection. MTAC has a really cool selection of them, but they're always seem to be sold out when I'm going for them. So good luck getting those ones. Vertex also has some really good ones. If you look in their Tactigami section, they have a lot of stuff that is Velcro based and different types of organizers, holsters, different types of things that you can use for Velcro. And so really a lot of options out there, and that makes this super modular, makes it so you can make it exactly how you want it. It's not gonna be the same as anyone else's pouch if you're mixing and matching different accessories here. But by itself, this is just going to be a bunch of gear on top of each other, smashing on top of each other. And I prefer a clamshell opening, but in that case, without any of that organization, it's just going to spill out when you open it. So something to keep in mind. By itself, it would be a little bit difficult for me to use. Maybe you're a little bit more creative than me and have some ideas on how you can do that. Or maybe you also just make your own with elastic and Velcro and make exactly what you want. And so this empty one's gonna be perfectly fine. But I really like it in this configuration, and really excited to kind of get more accessories that work with these, because they also work with other bags, especially companies like Vertex who have a lot of internal Velcro and their own organization systems. You can kind of mix and match and get really creative. But I think a really cool one, like I said, American-made company, so everything's made here in America. Lifetime warranty, and their lifetime warranty, I mentioned in the other video, is really cool. They're expecting hard use out of your gear, so if you know, this falls out of your truck and you run it over and destroy it, they'll probably replace it. But if you're obviously intentionally destroying it, they're probably not going to replace it. But other than that, if you're hard using it and that's why it got destroyed, they're going to repair it, they're going to replace it. Really cool company, and it seemed like that is something that their fans are a big fan of. I've never had to replace anything. This is only my second product from them, but have heard really great things about working with them. So definitely check them out. I'll link to this in the description. Again, it's sold out the day this is publishing, but I would imagine it's not going to be soon. Just sign up for the notifications if you want it, and it should be back. But let me know what you think of this pouch in the comments below, about my loadout, what I should change, wanting it to be kind of that toolkit. I already have some stuff in mind. I just threw a really quick version of it together to get this video out, but I already have some tweaks that I'm going to be making in the next couple days, and then we'll just kind of trial and error and see where it goes from there. But thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification button. And as always, I hope you have a great one. Take care.